"You've got to see this, Frank," Joe said. "You too, Chet. It's totally sick." Help, I thought, as my brother held up his prized possession, a tablet for the gazillionth time. Not another lame clip on YouTube. It was the last thing I wanted to look at as we sat inside the swanky Peyton mansion. I wanted to check out the two slick cabin cruisers docked outside the bay window. "Will you give us a break already, Joe?" I told him. "I think we've seen enough skateboarding squirrels and breakdancing babies to last a lifetime." Our friend Chet Morton cracked a smile. "Yeah, but those rapping sock puppets you showed us before were pretty sick," he admitted. "Got any more of those?" Joe shook his head. "Check it out. It's serious stuff," he said, practically shoving the tablet in our faces. "You serious?" I joked. "Since when?" Joe knew what I meant. Our ages were only 1 year apart, but our personalities, worlds apart. Joe was always high-strung, fast-talking, and unpredictable. Me? I'm more the strong, silent type. At least that's what I like to think. "Will you look at the clip already?" Joe urged. "I can't keep it on pause forever." He hadn't put down that fancy new tablet since he got it for his birthday. I couldn't really blame him. We couldn't have smartphones until we were in college, so the tablet was the next best thing. It surfed the web, got emails, even took pictures and videos. Speaking of videos. "Okay," I sighed. "But if I see one squirrel or sock puppet, it's over." Chet and I leaned forward to watch the clip. There were no skateboarding squirrels or sock puppets, just a clerk at a fast food takeout window, handing a paper bag to a customer. The clerk looked about 16 or 17. The person behind the wheel had his back to the camera, which was probably being held by someone in the passenger seat. "Boring," Chet sighed. "Wait, here it comes," Joe said. He turned up the volume just as the clerk said, $6.75, please." The driver reached out to pay, but then he yanked the lid off his jumbo cup and hurled what looked like a slushie all over the kid at the takeout window. "Keep the change," the driver cackled before zooming off. I could hear another voice snickering, probably the creep filming the whole thing. I stared at the screen. "Definitely not cool," I said. "And a perfectly good waste of a jumbo slushie," Chet joked. "Not funny, Chet," Joe said with a frown. "How did you find that clip, Joe?" I asked. "Lonnie, a guy in my math class, forwarded to me," Joe explained. "Lonnie was the poor clerk who got slushied." "Did they ever find the guys who did it?" Chet asked. Joe shook his head and said, "The burger place called the cops, but so far the slushy slinger's still on the loose." "You mean it's a cold case?" Chet joked. "Cold, slushy? Get it?" "That's about as funny as those skateboarding squirrels, Morton," I complained. "What we just saw was someone's idea of a dumb prank." "Yeah, but whose?" Joe asked. This time Chet heaved a big sigh. "Time out, you guys," he said. "You promised your dad you were going to slow down the detective work, at least for now." "Slow down?" Joe asked. "From something we've been doing since we were 7 and 8? Not a chance, bud." Of course, what Joe didn't mention was that we were one wrong move away from reform school. No one knew about the deal except our family, the police, and our former principal, who had his own issues to deal with now. "Yeah, but a promise is a promise," I said. "So put that thing away already, Joe." "Before somebody comes in and sees it," Chet added. "What would be so bad about that?" Joe asked. "Because," Chet said, smiling, "surfing clips on YouTube isn't the thing to be doing in the parlor of one of the uber-richest homes in Bayport." Glancing around the posh room we were sitting in, I knew Chet got the uber-rich part right. "Check out the pool table, you guys," I said. "As soon as I finish checking out those little beauties," Chet said, nodding toward a nearby table. On it was a silver platter filled with fancy frosted pastries. "Don't even think of taking one," Joe said, pointing to a portrait hanging on the wall. "Not while he's watching us."